Good evening and welcome to the May 28th, 2024 special Board of Directors meeting. It's 5:30. Please rise with me and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next on the list is the land acknowledgement. Director Grunwald.
Evergreen Public Schools resides on the traditional lands of the Chinookan peoples and the Cowlitz tribe. They have lived on and cared for this land and its waterways since time immemorial. We thank them for their stewardship and make this acknowledgement to open a space of recognition, inclusion, and respect for all Indigenous students, families, and staff in our community.
Thank you. The next item is to adopt the agenda. Is there a motion?
To adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Grunwald and Bocanegra, then Grunwald. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. And so let's get started. The first item on our agenda is a performance by the East Chamber Strings. We call on Corinne Ormson.
This is an ensemble from East Middle School. Their name is TACO, and that stands for Totally Awesome Chamber Orchestra. So they've named themselves. This is a student group that rehearses before school, and Eva is going to introduce their first piece.
Hello, I'm Eva, and the first piece we'll be playing is Shaker Fantasia by Elliot Del Borgo. It's inspired by the Shaker hymn tune, Simple Gifts.
next piece will be Black Knight by Ian Edlund. I'd also like to take this time to thank our superintendent and our school board for their continuing support in our music program.
I think you lived up to the hype. Totally awesome chamber orchestra. Fantastic. Maybe we'll pass a resolution later and officialize that name.
Taco.
I like taco. Taco Tuesday. That's right. It's Tuesday.
I love music. I love performing music. I love listening to music, and I loved your music. Thank you for coming in.
That was very majestic. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for taking time out of your evening to bless us with that beautiful music. Thank you, guys.
A technical matter was drawn to my attention. We need to take a 2 or 3 minute recess. So we'll be back in 3 minutes. I just need to talk to John. Apologize for the delay. We've straightened out the issue and know what to do. It'll become evident in a moment. The next item on the agenda is recognition. Right? Are we at recognition? For the Evergreen Awards. John, is Ms. Gomes coming?
Yeah, Janae Gomes,
Jane.
our Chief Operating Officer, will come up and start us off.
Welcome.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me, Board of Directors and Superintendent Boyd. This is our last recognition for the school year for our Evergreen Awards. There's 3 groups, classified, certificated, and tonight there's a team that will be recognized. In addition, we're adding in substitutes this evening. I'm going to start with classified. That will be recognizing, Lori Hetman will be recognizing the employee.
Good evening, Superintendent Boyd, school board members. It is my honor to introduce to you Christy Hoskins. She is an asset to Evergreen School District. She started out volunteering when her kids were at Sunset and has worked for the past 8 years in various departments within the school. She is extremely knowledgeable and always willing to help. When I started as a reading para, the I in this is Jenny Cole, who nominated her. She was a valuable resource, always willing to answer questions and provide guidance. When I showed up on the first day, she had made copies of all the things she anticipated I would need to make a quick start. On numerous occasions, I've seen her fill in for others and go above and beyond to help the school function. In fact, this past week, she, along with others in the title department, spearheaded putting together baskets to raise funds for Sunset. She's always looking for ways to engage her students and finding new ways to motivate them to read. She provided tutoring and gives extra support whenever possible. She has such a passion for her work that she has obtained her teaching certificate and reading endorsement while working full-time. She is the type of employee that should be recognized for her efforts. I really look up to her for her work ethic and dedication. Evergreen is lucky to have her. Steve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next award is Certificated Employee, and Dawn Harris, Principal of York, will be introducing.
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
I'm Dawn Harris. I'm the principal at York Elementary, and I get the esteemed pleasure of giving Shelley Morrell, our music teacher. As you heard, our marimba club last week. That's little of the things that she does at York. Some of my teachers, my kindergarten and first grade teachers, wrote up this. Lots of things about Shelley, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet that really ties in and what Shelley really has done. Starting with our youngest learners, she creates an environment where students feel they are part of the lesson and not just receiving the lesson. She gives every student an opportunity to shine. In this way, all York Explorers feel valued, empowered to express themselves through music. That is our Shelley Morrell.
I was told I could say a few words, so I'm going to. First, I just want to say thanks to my York family. I'm completely aware that I'm lucky to work at a school that supports music education and sees it as a part of the core subject area that educates the entire child. And the leadership and my colleagues are nothing but supportive, and that doesn't happen everywhere. That said, if you haven't done so before, I encourage everyone in this room to peruse the performing arts calendar on our district homepage. You will see hundreds of events that on this schedule. I counted 74 just in the month of March. All of which, I would say all except for maybe 3, are not contractually an obligation for any of the music teachers in this district. There are district festivals, national festivals, regional festivals, concerts, parades, guest conductors, tours, grade level programs, and more. Music teachers in this district are doing exactly what I strive to do, and they're providing experiences for kids that require teamwork and collaboration, 100% engagement, and high levels of academic achievement. So I'm thankful to work in a district and that recognizes that music offers so many experiences and education and learning that are completely unique to the subject of music. So I would like to raise a hypothetical, very school-appropriate glass to all the music teachers in the district that go above and beyond every day. Cheers.
Thank you.
Our next one is a team award, and Andy Schoonover, principal of Legacy High School, will do the introductions.
Good evening. Thanks for having us. I get the honor to introduce the team of our GED team. These are the folks that work in our GED Open Doors program to prepare those students to take the test. I very much value their work because I don't think I've ever heard a no. It's, hey, we got this unique situation, which is, sure, we'll figure it out. Hey, this kid has some unique things. Yep, all right, cool, we'll figure it out. And no matter what, they're doing what's best for the student, and I very much value that. I will read their nomination. Ryan and Dee, the Open Door team, are committed teachers who inspire students of all backgrounds and abilities to succeed. At the Open Doors program, Ryan and Dee work with students for which the regular systems didn't work. With their dedicated and caring personalities, as well as respect and empathy, they both guide the students to do their best through the entire process of earning their GED. But even after, with building resumes and finding opportunities to obtain practical work experience. They also empower and help them regain confidence in themselves while making them feel they belong and that they are part of the school community. These two teachers could be the last chance some students have to resume their education and succeed in life. And the other part I'd like to add is our GED passage rate is like 95%. So when kids go take the test, they pass it. And I believe one of them has a statement, maybe both of them.
Well, I just want to say thank you so very much for this honor. It was a pleasant surprise. It would have not been possible without teamwork, cooperation, trust, and collegiality. As a team, Ryan and I are committed to our students' well-being and educational success. In addition, Legacy staff and teachers help us keep our GED on their path to graduation. And I would like to name a few that are not here present, such as Natalie, Jennifer, who work as secretary in the registrar's office. Also, Andy, who always accommodates our needs. We are grateful to you. And it really, as the old saying says, it takes a village to raise a child. And I think Legacy High School exemplifies the saying. So thank you again, and this is a great honor.
Hi, I'm Ryan Olson. This is my 17th year teaching, 16th year in the district, but it's my first board meeting. So, and I'll just say that I just want to thank the students in the program. Andy was super close. So I've been doing this program for 12 years. I've kept track of every test every GED student has taken. It's 1,113, and we have a 97.9% passing rate. So. Yeah, so thank you to all the students that we work with over the years and every day.
we have 3 more folks to honor tonight, and we're going to add the classified substitutes that we have in the district. So classified and certificated subs of the year for us. Our substitutes are invaluable. They chip in for our teachers. They hit the ground running. They never know what they're going to anticipate or expect, and it's quite a juggling act that substitutes do to fill in for our phenomenal classified and certificated staff. So I'm going to start by sharing some information about Terry Schoenmakers, who was not able to be with us today, a classified substitute. And this Terry has been committed substitute at Pacific for 4 years. She has exemplary attendance and works so well with our kiddos and staff. We love her. She shows up early, helps in many extra ways, and doesn't wait to be asked to take care of a situation. She handles it without hesitation. Thank you for your hard work and positive impact on our kids. So if we can give Terry a round of applause, even in her absence. She may be listening in, who knows? So we got to make sure we got honored her in the right way. So I'm going to now honor a certificated substitute appreciation award, and this individual is nominated by Eric Navarrete, Cascade Middle School. And so Adam Haddad, could you come up, please? Adam, there's Adam. All right. Adam, I'm wondering if you're related to a certain staff member here. Okay.
That I am, yeah.
That's good. Thank you, Tracy, for bringing him in. So Adam has been our long-term certificated roving sub since February, and it's been amazing. Kids absolutely love him, and he has built a great relationship with them. Adam is able to calm down students with challenging behavior. He is always willing to go above and beyond to help in any way. He has great classroom management, comes with a smile and a can-do attitude. So thank you, Adam. I'm going to have you stay there for just a second while I honor Kim Lawson. Kim, can you come forward and stand next to? Thank you. So we have our Emergency Substitute Appreciation Award nominated by Chehalis Middle School and Cascade Middle School. We have Kim Lawson, our emergency substitute. So Kim Lawson is the go-to sub for Chehalis. Kim does an excellent job following the plan, adjusts when needed, or the internet goes down. And students are always responsive to her kind and calm demeanor. It is always a pleasure to see Kim Lawson's name pop up on our sign-in. She sees the positive in any situation and is willing to help or accommodate us. She has subbed here so much that kids already know her and enjoy her presence. Teachers are always asking for her to cover her class because they know she has great classroom management. Kim and Adam, thank you so much. Congratulations. I'm sure Craig's going to want to get a picture here.
Are we coming back around? Oh.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you for all of that. The next item on our agenda is public comments. Any community member wishing to address the board may do so during the designated time on the agenda for public comments. Comments are to be directed to the board of directors as a whole and may not be addressed to any individual member of the board, the administrative staff, or the audience. Although the board will not engage in dialogue, the board chair may ask a speaker a clarifying question or follow up at a later time on an issue raised during public comment. Each speaker has a maximum of 3 minutes. And tonight we have 2 speakers. So let's just begin. Sandra Reeder, come on up. Need a prop?
Yes. It's over
Okay.
here.
My 3 minutes are not running right now.
No, they're
are
not.
they?
No, they're not.
Is it straight?
Oh, yeah, looks good.
Hello. My name is Sandra Reeder, and I'm here tonight with my husband, Gary. Our company is American Historical Art. As residents of the Evergreen Public Schools community, we are here to become more involved because we're concerned about the statistic of our students who will become our leaders for tomorrow, and we want to help. So we bring you tonight a challenge and an opportunity. Allow me to introduce this amazing artwork entitled The Freedom Ensemble. I don't know that you can see it from where you're sitting, but it is a composition of the three most important documents of our United States: the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, and our U.S. Constitution. Also included are the Gettysburg Address and Pledge Allegiance. Unfortunately, many of our students today have never seen these remarkable documents. The purpose of our contemporary design is to make it easy for students to see our nation's history artistically displayed in their original form. This in itself is a teacher, but a silent and powerful teacher. When I was a high school teacher in the 80s, I used the behavioral concept of visual prompts to strongly facilitate memory. Allowing our students to see these documents in their original forms, as I just mentioned, on a regular, repetitive basis serves to awaken their sense of belonging to this country and also being accepted into our local and their communities. They will begin to understand their personal value, which is most important to all of us, more so today than any time in recent history. So we must recognize the need for change. Our challenge to you is to act upon change. Since this is a campaign year, our campaign has already begun at American Historical Art as we seek to display this Freedom Ensemble in every school in America, beginning right here with the Evergreen School District and branching out to fill Clark County, Washington, and then the rest of our nation's schools. To enable your recognition of this, our challenge, we offer the Evergreen School District the exclusive opportunity of a 5% cash incentive of the Freedom Ensemble's $400 sales price. In view of the $20 million budget deficit, this 5% cash incentive could prove to be extremely timely. Considering there are over 98,000 public schools in America and an additional 5,000 colleges and universities, 5% of $400 times the number of schools that could follow Evergreen School District lead.
I'm
Anyway.
very sorry. The 3 minutes are up.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you. If you'd like to leave the rest of the comments in written form with us, then we'll be able to read the rest of it.
Thank you again.
The next person is Ann McCarr.
Good evening and thank you. 3 of my kids graduated from Evergreen schools, and I retired as a classified employee from the district last fall, and that's a little bit like graduation in a way. I think in our campuses, there should be no flags posted in support of religions or ideological or political movements. I don't have an issue flying the state flag or the U.S. flag. Since districts are not required by state law to employ personnel in diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI programs, and since there is still
bullying, harassment, and violence in schools, I suggest that resources be moved from DEI programs to campus safety and security programs, and also that no taxpayer resources be used for fill-in-the-blank History Month or Pride Month, but more focused on academics. I find it very sad to see the divisiveness in schools between students who embrace differing ideologies or religions. Some kids embrace traditional values, and others the current dominant ideology that seems to celebrate feelings. I think insisting that everybody celebrate feelings doesn't make a lot of sense. Perhaps we can spend as much time and energy with taxpayer dollars to promote chastity, modesty, and other virtues that will help students succeed in school and adult life and also benefit society. We can celebrate effort, growth, accomplishments, and virtue. It seems that secular humanism is the dominant ideology in the USA, and it's sometimes promoted in schools. Certain curricula and certain teachers promote Marxist principles such as critical race theory or DEI, critical Western civ theory, critical Judeo-Christian ethic theory, fluid sexual identity theory, gender ideologies, and also training students in political activism. And again, these things are divisive. I personally do not like to see staff or students being told to view themselves as members of either oppressor groups or oppressed groups. And I think we should focus more on commonality. It's not diversity that made the U.S. a powerful country, a successful country, and it wasn't licensed to do whatever our feelings and passions might tempt us to do. Rather, it was freedom to choose between right and wrong, between truth and falsehood, between good and evil. A lot of folks are afraid to say things like that anymore because so many have been canceled and ghosted. I would like students to be trained in how to reason and how to analyze, not what to think, and not to become activists for ideologies. And I do believe it should be made clear to them it's not only wrong to act violently against people because of their self-expression, but it's wrong to use violence just because beliefs are different. This is not really emphasized in contemporary widespread media. Instead of debating arguments, violence and destruction are portrayed as legitimate, just like in communism and Marxism. Perhaps we should welcome a diversity of opinion, and you can see I don't subscribe to secular humanism or Marxism or ideologies based on characteristics such as race, sexual expression, or feelings, and I believe nobody should have to fear supporters of those ideologies. So again, there should be no flags posted in support of ideological or political movements in our buildings. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comments. That was the full list, and so this will close off the public comment section of the meeting. The next item on the agenda is our board consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
I move for approval of the board consent agenda as presented.
Seconded.
That's Director Bocanegra moving and Director Weatherspoon seconding.
Oh, I wanted to pull one item off the consent agenda just to talk about it openly.
Okay. Name the item, please.
Oh, find it here again. I have the agreement with human capital.
That's item C. Okay, we'll consider item C separately from the rest of the consent agenda. Are there any other items for discussion? Okay, so the motion is now to approve the board consent agenda with the exception of item C, which will be considered next.
I'm sorry. I think we also have to address the vouchers.
Yeah, I'll come to that on the next item. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No one's opposed. So with the exception of item C, the board consent agenda is adopted. So let's go ahead and consider that right now, if that's all right. And okay, so I need a motion about item C on the consent agenda, which is the agreement for services between the district and Human Capital Enterprises.
Do you need a motion for approval?
Yep.
I move to approve item C, the agreement for services between Human Capital Enterprises and Evergreen Public Schools.
Director Bocanegra moves, seconded by Director Gronwald, to approve item C off of the consent agenda. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I know 2 weeks ago when I had asked for us to do a interim superintendent survey. Maybe I was naive, but I just assumed we would be getting the actual responses from the survey, and finding out last Tuesday that that doesn't appear to be the case. I want to just kind of get your thoughts on that. I think we need to be transparent with the community and have the community be transparent with us, and to not get the actual responses is, you know, I checked with Ray and Associates, who was the other option we were looking at 2 weeks ago, and asked if we were to have them do a superintendent or interim superintendent survey, if they would allow us to see the actual responses, and they didn't bat an eye. They said, sure. They did say if they were meeting with a stakeholder group, in that case, they would not want to give us the actual verbatim responses, but summarize it because it's not anonymous. It would be coming from a recognized group. But for an anonymous survey where the answers are just anonymous, they had no problem giving us that. So going forward, I know we talked a little bit. I think, Rob, you were maybe thinking of talking with Human Capital about asking them what they might be able to forward to us. But going forward for our superintendent survey, I would definitely want to stress that we would need to and want to see the actual responses. It helps me. I know the budget survey helped me immensely, seeing the actual responses. It educated me. I mean, we're all not experts in everything, and the community has some expertise that I'd like to glean from. So.
And when you say superintendent search, you mean the full search that will commence in the fall?
Yes. Okay.
I think that search might be different, where we're going to be probably surveying and getting different results along the way throughout the entire process, where this is a condensed 1-month process for an interim superintendent. So I think that the way that they're going to give us the data is probably in a more condensed way. I know that we had the discussion last week on the workshop about it. And I think that under their work product, under number 4, it says high-level analysis of surveys. Is that it's not the thing, is that they're going to give us a high analysis? I think they're going to theme all of the comments into different sections. Am I correct on that, Rob? That they're
Yes,
going to do some theming?
that's what they said to me.
Mm-hmm. And we could always revisit it as we look at the full superintendent search and all of the things that are offered, is that, but I have a feeling they're going to do a lot more surveying, and when we do town halls and different forums, we'll be getting a lot more feedback that will be probably a little more organic than this one in this interim search. But I'm fine with the way it is for now, based on the time frame that we're under.
Okay. Other comments? Thank you. Hearing none, we'll take a vote on the matter. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion to approve the contract with Human Capital Enterprises is carried. The next item on our agenda is, I'm touching the wrong screens, is the superintendent's consent agenda. And I'm going to go ahead and start this by asking the board to let us remove the item C, vouchers for approval, on the basis that there was a technical glitch in the way the software presented those vouchers for approval, which should be corrected pretty much soon later tonight. And so do I have a motion for approving the superintendent's consent agenda with that exception?
So moved. Second.
Director Gronwald has moved approval of the superintendent's
Can I
consent.
ask a clarifying question?
Yes.
Will we need to come together then to relook at the item C?
Yes, we'll need to call a special meeting and have at least a quorum in order to approve those.
That can be done remotely if we need to, for that one item.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Director Gronwald has moved and Director Bocanegra seconded to approve the superintendent's consent agenda with the exception of item C, the vouchers for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. And we'll go ahead and set up a special meeting as soon as we possibly can so that that approval can move forward. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the RNC bond update presentation. John?
Yeah, come on forward. Nicole Del Toso, our Senior Director of Facilities, will introduce the topic.
While Adam's getting everything set up, I'll just do a quick introduction. Adam's done board presentations for y'all for a bit now, so I won't get too crazy on introducing him. But I want to continue to appreciate the partnership that we have with RNC Management and their leadership and help throughout our entire bond. So Adam, I will pass it on to you to give a nice update on our bond.
It'll be a lot of good stuff tonight. I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. It's been a little while since we've been here. A couple new faces, so good to see you and thank you. Tonight's going to be pretty brief. All the stuff that we're talking about is all the bond promises that were committed are done to date, so it's a huge achievement by the district. What I'm going to update you today on is kind of some overall stuff, some general items, big program items, schedules and budgets, but then get into the weeds on some of the projects that are active out there that you're seeing that are all through bond savings. So what we'll hit on, like I just said, and then we'll hit on kind of some project specifics at Mill Plain, transportation facility, and then the music room. So interrupt me at any time if there's questions or clarifications that come up. So in general, schedule, things are all on schedule. Things are going as per our intent. There has been we'll get into it a little bit at the music rooms. We ran into a few challenges just with existing conditions, but in general, everything's on schedule. Like I mentioned, all the bond program is complete, so kudos to the whole group on that. If you want to get into more detail, we do have that attachment A that you can see the program schedule on. The D form status, if you do want to get into more details, we are getting really close to receiving all of those bond funds. So as everyone knows, we got a substantial amount more from the state than we were anticipating, which is great news, which allowed us to do a lot more projects out there. So kudos to the whole team. It took a team to do that. Kudos to the state for really working with us efficiently to really get those funds identified. Budget-wise, I'm not going to go into the detail of it, but in general, all the projects are on budget that we're working on now. The program projects, the bond program projects are either under budget or on budget. We're working right now. We're still continuing to meet on a quarterly basis with Jennifer and her team to kind of go through those and reconcile those. And each time we get together, we're able to do what we call a budget modification to take some of those savings, sorry about that, some of those savings that we have, we're able to send those back to the program savings. So as soon as we get to a point in a project where we feel comfortable that there's no risk, there's no unknowns, we're working with Jennifer and her team on that. So really exciting news about the budget. I think in the next, our target to have all those projects kind of closed out by end of this year and have everything sent back with just a few projects that are kind of unknown that are still active, music rooms and potentially the music room. So jumping into kind of the project specifics, some of the projects that are going on out right now, just some of the capital renewals. 2023, those are done. There's still some commissioning and some warranty items on the CRP capital renewal projects. As you know, there's a lot of projects, summer projects that we're preparing to get started here, middle of next month. Contractors are on board, schedules are in place, pre-construction's going, and we're ready to hit the ground running really hard. At Heritage High School, we're doing a large controls upgrade, so it's going to be pretty impactful on that school, but it's going to be a huge benefit for not only maintenance, but the staff out there. Cascadia, we have a couple projects out there that are ready to go. And then out at Endeavor, we're doing some roof replacement, and then Columbia River doing some roofing. So those are again, what we're calling capital renewal projects. They're kind of deferred maintenance, but they're really the through the bond savings. Mill Plain, as everyone knows, we're completed out there. We're still in our warranty phase. We're dealing with some warranty items that come up, addressing those accordingly. But out there, we're looking to close that project out from a financial standpoint within the next couple months. And that project came in under budget and had a lot of success. So again, that's another one of those bond saving projects. Transportation, I don't know if anyone's been out there lately, but this is an aerial. It was taken not too long ago, but you can see we're getting really close. We're targeting summer to be moving those folks over from the old to the new. So we're already coordinated with moving contractors. A lot of the stuff has already been moved over. Furniture's moved in. So we're just timing that. We had some challenges from as COVID continues to impact us. There's still long lead items, and we had some challenges with the electrical gear. So we worked with the staff to come up with a plan. And so summer they're moving over. And then once they move over, we'll demolish the existing facility, do some site upgrades, and then be out of there in September-ish and turn that over completely to the staff. So the staff has been fantastic to work with. They've been just great to work with, getting us the information and the information that we need to move forward. So, and then there's just a floor plan. I think we've sent this, but reference it accordingly. A couple more photos for you to see, just from a couple different angles, so you can kind of see the progress. Last but not least, the music rooms. We started out there spring break. Things are going really well. We did run into some challenges, especially out at Evergreen High School. We found some stuff underground that we were not anticipating even when we surveyed. So we have a good team in place. The design team and the construction team really worked hard together to come up with a good game plan, and it's going to impact our schedule a little bit. We pushed it out. We're still targeting to move it up, but our current target for at Evergreen High School is February 18th. We're going to still try to turn that over middle of January, but right now with the things that have popped up, it's going to impact us a little bit. And then at Union High School, middle of January is when we're targeting. So the staff has been absolutely great to work with. We're really trying to minimize the impact on those students' learning environment, but as you know, some of those are right in the middle of the school. So appreciate everyone's flexibility and opportunity to get that project done out there. So just a couple for renderings of those. We'll get you some updates, some photos, et cetera, as things progress. They haven't been out there more than a month or so, so it's really been mobilizing and setting up the site to make sure that it's safe for students because it is an occupied site. Couple photos that you see. Evergreen High School and Union High School is on the right. So that's it. Not a ton to report tonight. It's a lot of exciting stuff, a lot of impressive stuff that continues out there. I just want to say again, thank you so much for the opportunity. RNC feels extremely blessed to have that partnership with you folks over the last 6 years. It went fast, but super grateful and thankful for the opportunity. I still can't believe how fast that went. So any questions or anything you want to add? Or?
I was just thinking that we started this in a portable where most of our digital stuff wasn't working, or in our little circle at the portable across the street from where we had our board meetings. Remember, we used to meet there all the time. And now here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah, it took an army, it took a team. It doesn't happen with just one group. It takes a whole entire group to make this happen. So,
wonderful. Could I ask you, you might not have the answer today, but
yeah.
I'm very curious about the work. Did the underground gas tanks get moved?
At the
transportation facility? Yeah.
They have not been moved yet, but I'll get you an update on when those are. It should be after we get everything moved over.
Yeah, soon.
Yeah.
I'm curious about what the, I guess, state regulation requirements and federal regulation requirements are that you face, and the, I guess, making sure that everything happens with safety in mind and so forth. I'm curious about the process.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get you that information on the exact dates of when those are. We did do an extensive study, and then we'll have quality assurance folks out there during that, a third-party monitoring out there when they do that. And then there'll be additional testing of the soil just to make sure none of that has contaminated the soil accordingly.
All right.
Really just, it's a lot of filing with Department of Ecology, basically. So because they are underground storage tanks, there's a lot of requirements annually that we have to do. And so if you're gonna do any impact to those tanks or anything, it all runs through Department of Ecology, basically. So, and all of that gets filed by the contractor and by the construction team, so they would have done that already. I do know they started working on the fuel station, but yeah, I don't know what their current status is at this point.
Okay. When you do, I'll be happy to receive the answer.
I'll make sure we get that information to Nicole, and then she can forward that on.
Yeah, I can include it on a board update for y'all.
Excellent.
Oh, sorry, there we go. On the budget program slide, I'm not sure if I saw it up there, but it was on, the last one on our agenda. You know, it's got original budget, and then it's got current budget, and the items toward the bottom, I'm wondering, it doesn't have an original budget, so were those ones that were maybe added with the extra federal?
Correct. All the 19 through 26 is kind of the added scope. So we've already funded a lot of these projects through either program contingency or through bond savings or through the SCAP funding. So yes, good question, that there was never an original, so those were not in the bond promises.
Right.
So all those 1 through 18 that you're seeing up here were the commitments that that the district made to the community, and we followed through with that. We did that, we executed those, and now we're being able to get some really great projects out on the back end.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and you mentioned we got extra federal funds as well, so.
Yeah, the state funds, it's a lot of work. The OSPI has been great to work with, but there's a lot of different steps that you have to go through, and we buy in on it because I think we got, I could send that information to you. I think we've got over, I might even have it here, I think we got over $120 million $128 million of state matching.
Okay,
So,
that was the state.
it's a lot of work, but it's so worth it. I mean, that's 3 elementary schools right there that we're able to build with just a little extra hard work, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I want to say, if I can, because I think Gary brought up a great point about how much we were able to do on the outside of what our original scope was. And I think it's an incredible amount of work in 6 years. It did go by fast, but we had a lot of challenges in that 6 years. But it's amazing, really, the transformation of the district. All of those old schools that really needed to be replaced, our sports facilities, our music rooms, it's amazing. And the thing is that we saved so much and we're still under budget and we're doing all of the extra things that we weren't able to do, which really has helped our overall budget because we're using some of that money instead of using it from our general fund to do necessary improvements. So incredible job to you and your company and helping us out with that, because we wouldn't have been able to do all of this without really managing all of these projects really wisely. So thank you.
It started early. I know that we came in early to help support, and so I think it's a testimony to good leadership that, you know, understands. And so that's, I think, a lot of success is because we started really early and planned accordingly. We didn't plan for COVID and all that, but yeah.
But we kept going.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. And really, all of our stuff, everything was on time.
Everything's been on time and under budget, most of them, for as far as I can see. And that's a real accomplishment, and I appreciate the stewardship of our funds and the care that you took. And we got lucky with some lowered prices during COVID, too.
Can I add one more thing, too? And really to thank our community for stepping up in 2018 and helping us pass that bond, because that was a time where we really did, we really needed to pass it. And it was a great time for us to start the project, because we were able to do so much, and for all of the funds that we were able to collect through the bonds and then the extra state match.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening.
You too.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Nicole.
Right, our next agenda item is the superintendent report.
I'm going to use my time to call up Craig Birnbach for the good news report.
Now it's not cooperating. Oh, there we go. I was like, what's to stay in edit mode? Well, I said I was ready, and now, oh snap. Yeah, that's what I did, but I don't know why it doesn't want to go into preview mode, but
Don't worry about us up here.
there we go. Hey, I'm gonna blame Diana. Thank you very much, Superintendent Boyd and Board of Directors, and I'm, of course, not going to blame IT. I will start with Mountain View High School had a sort of kind of governor visit. And why I say that is the Governor Inslee came to actually visit the Department of Ecology's air quality monitoring site. So these sites across the state where we get to see that air quality number. One of them actually lives at Mountain View High School. It is, I don't have a better word than kind of a shed that you open up, and there's some equipment in there, but it lives on the campus. So he came to visit that, but he did get in touch with the high school and wanted to meet with leaders of the Mountain View's student-led environmental club. And so he did meet with them, and I will say he took a lot of time to speak with them. And then even at the end, you could see this picture right here in the lower left corner. That's Isaac. He's the president of the club, Mountain View, and he was in the back. And the governor just said, "Hey, Isaac, come on up here." And he took part in the interviews with the media. But he talked to them about the kind of things they were doing in their club and what they thought about the future in the environment. So while there were smiles, not everything was, happy topics, but it was really good that they got to spend the time with the governor there. Over at Heritage High School in May, they had the CTE programs open house for community members to come in and see the clubs and the groups that CTE students have. And so this was at Gila, but it included all of our high schools. And one of the clubs was a club called My Friends Are Not For Sale. Many of you probably saw that article in the Columbian. A very scary subject these students are taking on, which is talking about trafficking. And these are high school students that are also working with Pacific Middle School students. I didn't know this until learning about this, that the middle school age is really, unfortunately, where the traffickers start to concentrate. So the Heritage students are working with the Pacific students to have their own club there and be aware of these issues. So that was one of the things, and there was they did get interviewed in an article in the Columbian. East Middle School started a boxing club this year. This is Jamila Singleton and the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Department got a grant, and it's really a grant that is for attendance purposes, because we know if you give students reasons to want to be at school, it doesn't always have to be about math. Sometimes they'll come for the boxing club. And this started with only 7 students, and they've tripled in size. And it's in partnership with the Victory Athletic Exchange and Austin Candanoza. I'm just going to call him Austin, so I didn't mess up his name that much. But Austin's a part of the Victory Athletic Exchange. He's also a Union High School graduate and a professional boxer. And I will say I went to this class, and they, they're middle school kids. So every once in a while, they start to do some things because they got gloves. And the moment he looks at him and says, "Hey, pay attention," they are right in there. And this whole the point of this is through boxing and fitness to build self-esteem and also get more physically fit and a sense of belonging with the group. we had Take Your Child to Work Day and other schools, and we had some actually children here. But Heritage High School, they did it big. I called over there and I said, I heard you having some kids, some staff members are bringing their kids in for, Bring Your Child to Work Day. And boy, did they. They had almost 50 children. And what they do there is you could see these are the Heritage High School leadership students. And they built a whole program for the entire day for the students, where they were doing art projects. They even built robots. And of course, there was a little ping pong and some fun. But kids of all ages, and the students, they're the ones that were in charge with them. So a really cool thing at Heritage High School. And then finally, we did Burnt Bridge Creek Elementary School. They had their Columbia Springs field trip on possibly the worst day in May, but they toughened it out. Aaron got those pictures, so I was happy about that. And then we had the fun runs have started, right? So we're here in May and in June, and we had Burnt Bridge Creek had an excellent fun run, and Crestline had a fun run. We recently, I think, had Pioneer. Fisher's Landing had a really cool BMX, Go Green BMX show, where you could see this group came in and really did some tricks. And there was one picture also where they kind of jumped over some staff members. Everyone was okay. So, so some exciting stuff as we get towards the end of the year events that we'll be having for our schools. Any questions? Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Okay, the next item on the agenda is an information item. The district has submitted its financial statement for the month of April 2024. No action is required, but we'll acknowledge the receipt of that document now. And then, are there any questions about the financial statement?
I just had one as far as expenditures. We're at 70.447, and that's 8 months of the year gone. However, July, August aren't typical expense months for us. I was just kind of curious. Normally 8 months, 8/12 would be 66.6 whatever percent. Didn't know if factoring in July and August, if what roughly our percent should be.
John, can you speak to that?
I'm careful to not speak to it. I think I'll let Jennifer Jacobson answer that question, and I think Jennifer will come up. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble tomorrow.
Thank you.
Hi, we are right on track. It's a little bit over because we have certain expenses like insurance that we pay $4 million up front. So there are some front-funded expenses that come into play here. Our July and August are pretty typical of the other months of the year because we're still paying all of our staff through July and August. So there's a little bit of savings, bus drivers, a couple other areas, but for the most part, the 12 months is spread out pretty evenly. It's more the revenue side where you see the big fluctuations, and as you can see in April, we had property taxes come in, and so we see a big influx for revenue. So
okay.
I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Next item on the agenda is board comments. Do board members have comments?
I wanted to remind everybody that our two board representatives, Covenant and Sullivan, are graduating. And so we are starting the process of getting new student advisory members and student board members. We went through applications this afternoon at 4 o'clock today to get 8. I think we have 4 juniors and 4 seniors that we're going to interview for student board reps. We're going to have a senior and a junior moving forward so that we always have someone who's here for 2 years and continuing the cycle on. I think we got about almost 20 applications this time around for students to do it, and we had a number of students wanting to come back to be on the committee again, so that was great. Yes. Ann Sullivan wanted me to tell everybody that her band won double gold at a band competition in, I think, California. So.
And she's at a band event tonight.
And she's at a band event tonight.
Correct.
Yes.
And I want to thank the public for their public comments, and that Freedom Ensemble was very beautiful, actually, so thank you.
Well, the bulk of my work has been with the superintendent selection process, along with Director Weatherspoon, and I'm actually impressed so far with the way that that's proceeded. The advertisement for the position looks really good, and it's going out to 40,000 stakeholders, and the survey is now out. So if you're a stakeholder in the district, you can see a link on the district homepage for the superintendent's survey, or the superintendent search survey. And I invite everybody to take the survey and give us your thoughts. They'll definitely be part of the selection process as we go.
I just want to remind everybody that we have lots of celebrations next week. It's graduation. It's hard to believe it's graduation already, but we'll be there.
It'll be good to have that moment. Oh, that's why I don't see my calendar. Is there anything? Nope, that's all for me. Any other comments? Hearing none, we will move into recess, after which we'll convene, after which we'll sign some documents during the recess and then reconvene in Evergreen 3 to have a board workshop where we discuss planning and priorities. Following that, we'll announce the beginning time for our executive session, closed session, and executive session as listed in the agenda, after which we'll adjourn. Thank you for coming in.